Hi team, how we doing? We're going to make some fresh mozzarella here. What we want to do is we want to start with 10 ounces of salt by weight, and I typically go with 2 gallons of water. That way I have plenty of water. The ratio is 5 ounces to a gallon. I just make a double batch just to make sure I don't run out of water, hot water along the way. So I've got my water and salt coming up to a boil. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut the curd into pieces. So what I'm trying to do is just kind of shave the curd kind of thin. You know, in pieces like that, so that once the hot water hits them, they'll melt easier than something really dense. So I've got my 2 gallons of water here. What I'm going to do is basically pour it on top of the curd to allow it to temper. So it's going to take the chill off the curd, and I'll be able to work with it starting from a warm stage instead of an ice cold stage. I'm going to be careful not to put too much hot water in too fast, or you can melt all the fat out of the curds. You see a lot of little tiny circles of fat floating on top. You've gone a little bit too fast. This one you can see is already starting to soften, whereas this one's it's starting to get soft, starting to pull together. After it has tempered, the curds are kind of warm. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pour off this water and add some hot water to it again. Alright, so I'm going to reintroduce some more hot water, and this will sort of get the curds melting a little bit. Sometimes I like to put 2 gloves on just because I want to play with it while it's still pretty hot and almost too hot to touch. I've got a sort of rounded spoon. A wooden spoon works fine. But what I'm doing is just letting the curds kind of melt into each other a little bit. Always adding a little bit more hot water as I go. In small stages, you don't want to add too much too fast. Like I said, it could melt out a lot of the fat. Once they kind of come together, then we'll start pulling it. So what we want to do is we want to get in the bowl here, and you want to pull the curd under itself. And what I'm doing is I'm smashing it on my hand while using my fingers to sort of splay the curd out a little bit and stretch it. Okay, and by feel I can tell it's plenty warm. I'm going to do a little bit hotter, which will allow it to become a little softer. Obviously pretty hot to the touch, which is good. And stretch. And then relax it, and come under and stretch again. And then relax it, kind of fold it on top of each other, stretch it again, and relax it. Okay, so you just kind of repeat that motion while you're getting these strands built, and sort of fold it on top of each other, making sure you get those lumps out. So now I can kind of feel through with my hands to see if we've got any whole pieces of curd left. Most of them are pretty worked out. Worked out good. Then what you want to do is you want to kind of grab it and stretch it into a rope. The technique is you grab one end of the rope and you fold it onto itself, creating a little bit of a ball, and then you create a cup for the mozzarella to be pushed through. Okay, and you basically push it through that form, and once you do that, you choke the neck of it, and then use your other hand to slide off the ball, plunge it in the ice water. The motion is I'm basically snapping it off like scissors. Okay, I'm not twisting it because that'll just deform the ball. You actually have to press it through and then choke it a little bit and then snap it off. What's great about this is once it's set up, you should be able to cut it and check your progress. You should have little bubbles in there. Obviously it's a little spongy, but the moisture, you can see the moisture coming out of it. And the flavor is unbelievable. That's pretty good.